In terms of what to expect today, so today is not a workout, but it is a very interactive skill lesson in the kettlebell swing and the kettlebell deadlift. Before we teach the swing, before we ever start swinging, we want to learn the deadlift. And the deadlift is our hip hinge movement, and that's what we learn first before we start swinging. So let me show you a few deadlifts and then we'll do some stuff together. So our stance in the deadlift, and you can do this with me, is feet basically under hips. Maybe the inside of your foot is lined up with your hip and toes pointed out just on a natural angle. That's our stance. When we hinge, I'm gonna turn sideways and go ahead and do this with me. The idea of a hip hinge, which is what the deadlift and the swing are, is just the hips moving back and forward. So go ahead and with me, I want you to push your hips back like this. You're in your deadlift stance, and what we're looking for in the hinge is shoulders above hips, hips above knees, long neutral spine. I'm really thinking about from my tailbone to the top of my head is long. In the hinge, we're not too squatty. It's not a squat, right? We're not up and down with the hips going really low. And we're also not super straight-legged. We don't want a very straight-legged hinge. We're kind of in this nice, happy medium, this Goldilocks position of shoulders above hips, hips above knees, and enough knee bend here that we can get those hips back and come on up. Cool. Let's do another one together, all right? So push those hips back. The best place for our eyes is looking on the horizon or maybe, 6 feet in front of us. Think about looking off at the horizon with your gaze and think about having a proud chest. You don't want to have in your hip hinge kind of having the chest fall forward like that. You want to think about as you push those hips back, you still have a proud chest, long clavicles, all right? And come back up. Last thing we'll cover in the hinge, we'll do this one together as well. Hinge back. In the hinge, we're thinking about long neutral spine, which means we don't want to be hunched and we also don't want to be overly arched, right? We just want to think about long neutral spine. And come up. Good. All right. Let's do 5 hinges together, thinking about all those things. So with me, get in your stance, push the hips back. You should feel that nice hamstring and glute sort of maybe a little bit of a stretch, and the glutes and hamstrings are loaded. The thing with the deadlift, come back up, and the swing is that you're mostly using your hamstrings, your glutes, and your abs in these movements. So even though your hands are holding onto the bell, it's really glutes, hamstrings, and abs that are working the hardest in these movements. And it is a full body movement. So let's do 5 hinges together. Push the hips back and come back up to standing and back, finding that position, come back up. 3 more, long neutral spine and stand. When you stand, think about pushing the earth away with your feet. Hips back, push the earth away. 1 more, and push the earth away. Nice. Okay, so that's our hip hinge, which is one of the 2 positions of the kettlebell deadlift and the kettlebell swing. So the other position is our standing plank, all right? And that's when we just come up and stand. But there's a lot more to the standing plank than just standing up. In the standing plank, we basically want to create a lot of tension by flexing or bracing our muscles, right? Our glutes, our quads, our abs. We're bracing and flexing those muscles to create structure and to keep our body and our spine safe, right? In Strong First, we talk about safety built into performance. So everything that we do, that we learn, all of these details that we're learning today, not only are gonna make our swings stronger and more powerful, but they're also gonna keep us safe in the long term. So in the standing plank, I'm gonna walk you through a little visualization drill, and so that you can create all that tension that we're looking for, really connecting our whole body together with tension, so you can really feel that. So go ahead and get in your deadlift stance with me. You can close your eyes if you want for this one. I do like to close my eyes for this drill because I want you to feel the tension that you're creating, but it's optional, right? If you want to also look. So we're going to work from the ground up and you're just going to do what I say. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're going to root your feet into the floor. It's like you're burning holes into the earth with your feet. Think about your foot as having 3 main points of contact with the ground. There's your heel, your ball of your foot, and your outer ball of your foot. And then you also have your toes kind of as a fourth one. So I want you to burn holes into the ground with all of those points of contact. I want you to grip the ground with your feet and even corkscrew the ground a little bit with your feet. Cool, you should feel some tension being created in your legs. Next, I want you to pull your kneecaps up. All right, so when you pull your kneecaps up, that should turn on your quads, right? If you were to just go like this, you've got some nice hard quads there, okay? That's good, we're looking for that. Next, I want you to squeeze your butt, all right? You are crushing a walnut back there and you are squeezing that thing and crushing it. Now we should feel like we've created a lot of tension from the hips down. Next, I want you to brace your abs for a punch. So somebody is about to punch you in the stomach and you're bracing your abs to protect yourself from that punch. Last thing is I want you to pretend you have 2 lemons in your armpits and you are making lemonade. You are going, boop, you are squishing those lemons and making lemonade with those lemons. Anti-shrugging the shoulders as well. Cool. And then the last thing is get tall through the top of your head, passive face. Keep all that tension below the neck. We don't want any of the tension in our head. All the tension is from the neck down. All right, shake it out, fast and loose. That was a lot of tensioning that we just did. Nice work. That is our standing plank. We're gonna do that together one more time. We'll go through it a little bit more quickly and we'll kind of build it up again. And this is what I want you to recreate and what I want you to feel at the top of your deadlift and at the top of your swing, because that is safety built into performance. If we start slinging around heavy weights and we're all loosey-goosey and our spine is all in all sorts of different positions and we've got a heavy bell, that's gonna put us at risk. But we can really safely do kettlebell swings and kettlebell work if we learn this principle of tension, which then protects our spine and keeps our joints safe. So one more time, standing plank. From the bottom up, feet burn holes into the ground, grip the earth with your feet, with your toes, corkscrew the feet. Good, pull the kneecaps up, quads are on, crush a walnut, squeeze your butt. Abs are on, bracing those abs for a punch. Squeeze lemonade in your armpits. Tight, 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 tight. Passive face. You can even power breathe here a little bit. That kind of gets your abs on. And shake it out. Good. Nice work. So when we shake it out, this is called fast and loose. We're just kind of shaking things out. We're relaxing. That's the other side of the kettlebell training coin. On one side, we have strength, we have tension, we have power production, but on the other side, we have relaxation, and they're equally as important. We can't just walk around like, oh, like this all day, super tense. We need to learn how to use our tension for strength and power, and then also how to relax, let the muscles recover so that we can do it again. So, okay, nice work. We learned our hinge and we learned our standing plank. And those are the 2 positions of the kettlebell deadlift and the kettlebell swing. So we are ready to deadlift a kettlebell. Let's do some deadlifts. Go ahead and grab your kettlebell. It doesn't matter what size, and we're gonna go through it together. Okay, so we're gonna get into our stance. We're gonna learn about grip and setup, and then we're gonna do some deadlifts together. I'm gonna do this from the side so you can see where the bell is in relation to me. So with me, go ahead and step over your bell. In your deadlift stance, toes pointed out a little bit, just kind of a nice natural stance. And the bell handle should be lined up basically with your ankle bones. So you can see, let me turn to the side here a little bit. You can see that when I'm in my hinge position, I can actually touch the bell and my shin at the same time. Common issue or problem that we see here is people deadlifting the bell and it's out in front of them. We don't want that. We want the bell pretty much underneath us. It keeps it closer to our center of gravity and it allows us to keep our weight in our heels. We want the majority of our weight in our heels. We still want our whole foot kind of rooted to the earth, but we don't want to be kind of on our toes with our weight coming forward. So back to over our bell. Go ahead and get the bell lined up with your ankle bones. Push your hips back. And you're going to grip the bell handle. And before we go, you're going to pretend to break that handle. And when you pretend to break the handle like a stick, you should feel your lats, these armpit muscles here, kind of turn on. So break the handle. And the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to stand up into your standing plank like this. And you're in your standing plank. All the things that we just did. Feet, knees, butt is squeezed, abs are braced. Breaking the bell, tall through the top of your head. You're tight. And then guide the bell down back to where it came from. Hopefully you guided the bell back, all right? But it is pretty common when you're first learning this that when you put the bell down, you put it down kind of in front of you. So again, we don't want to do that. It kind of puts our weight forward. It's a power leakage, and it takes us away from using that whole backside of our body as like our power producer. So let's do 3 together, and we'll make sure on the way down to swim that bell back a bit using our lats so that it ends up where it came from. Hinge back, hands on bell, break the bell. That's kind of lemonade armpits right there, right? Those lats are on. Ready, and stand. Standing plank, 3, 2, 1. Guide it back to where it came from. Good. Go ahead and add that power breath this time. So you heard me go, right, on the way up. Go ahead and add that. It helps keep our abs tight. Ready, and go. 3, 2, 1, and park it. One more time. Think about all those things we covered in the hinge and the standing plank. Ready, go. Tight, tight, tight. Abs are on, butt is on, quads are on, and hinge back. Guide the bell back to where it started. Nice. Shake it out. Good job. We're going to do a few more deadlifts just to really get the hinge and the standing plank. We're going to break it down into 5 slow deadlifts. We're going to do them slowly because the deadlift is what we call a grind. A grind is a slower lift, like a deadlift, a press, a squat. It's something that is not explosive. When we do swings, we're going to get explosive. But right now, we're doing kettlebell deadlifts, and that is a grind, which means we don't want to rush it. And sometimes we even want to slow it down so that we really get that form. Okay, so 5 slow deadlifts with me. We're going to do a 3 count up, 3 count at the top, and 3 count down. And I'm going to give you something different to focus on every time. I'll do these from the front this time, so you have a different angle. All right, so on this first one, I just want you to think about your feet and your knees. Feet are rooting through the earth, and knees, when you get to the top, you're pulling those kneecaps up for tight quads, okay? Knees and feet, ready. Hinge back, grab the bell, nice and slow, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, and guide it back. 1, 2, 3, good. Hopefully you really felt those feet pushing the earth away. You felt those nice engaged quads. Next one, thinking about hips and squeezing your butt at the top. So the hip hinge, hips moving forward and back, and when you get to the top, you are crushing that walnut. Ready, grab the bell, break the handle, and go. 1, 2, 3, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt. Good, and guide it back to where it came from. Awesome. Next one, slow deadlift. Thinking about abs and breath, okay? I can't talk during this one because I'm going to breathe the way that we should be breathing. So you're thinking about those abs are braced at the top, but really they're braced throughout the movement, but especially at the top, you're bracing your abs. And also using that power breath towards the top of the movement. So hinge back, grab the bell, break the bell, arms are straight, ready, abs and breath, go. 2, 3, and guide it back to where it came from. Really working on that beautiful hip hinge. Next up, we're gonna do another one. We're thinking about our shoulders, keeping our shoulders away from our ears, okay? It's called the anti-shrug. You're gonna be anti-shrugging your shoulders and at the same time getting tall through the top of your head. One more slow deadlift. Hinge, grab the bell, ready. Anti-shrug the shoulders and go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and guide it back. Nice, shake it out. One more, kettlebell deadlift, slow, putting it all together, all right? Feet, knees, glutes, abs, anti-shrug the shoulders, get tall through the top of the head, long neutral spine. Ready, let's do a beautiful one. Hinge it back, grab the bell, break the bell, and go. Standing plank, tight, 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 tight. And guide it back to where it came from. And come on up, nice, shake it out. Excellent work. We covered the hinge, we covered the standing plank, we did some deadlifts, we figured out how to connect everything and make everything tight. We also learned how to shake off the tension, right? By just kind of doing fast and loose like this and just getting everything really loose, super loose. If you ever watch a fight, like a boxing or MMA type of fight, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who watches that because my husband's a black belt in Krav Maga, so we totally like get into the fighting stuff. But you know, before a fight, you'll see a fighter, a professional fighter, and they're just so relaxed. They're just no tension in their body at all. And that is the professional way to stay really, really loose. And then they know how to create amazing tension when they actually need to throw punches and kicks and all that stuff. So anyway, totally mini tangent there. I'm gonna bring it back to the swing and let's move on. So swings. Let me show you what it looks like real quick, and then we're gonna break it down very similar way to how we broke down the deadlift. Okay, so hopefully there were some things that you recognized there, right? You probably recognized the hinge, the standing plank, the power breathing. Those are things that we learned in the deadlift that we're now gonna apply to the swing. And we already also talked about a grind versus a ballistic. The swing is different from the deadlift in that it's explosive. It happens quickly. So in the swing, the hips are powering it, right? Hamstrings, glutes, and that really nice snappy hip hinge is what powers the swing. And then the arms are really just holding on to the bell. So make sure as we're going through this that you're not lifting with your arms. It's not an arm lifting thing. It is an explosive hip hinge that then launches the bell and the arms are just guiding it. They're just holding on to it. So we're gonna start with some slow-mo swings, no bell, because you basically can't do a slow-mo swing with a bell. So we're gonna do slow-mo swings, no bell. So go ahead and, with me, get in your hinge position. And you're gonna go back in your hinge. And you're gonna put your arms out in front of you like this, and you have your imaginary bell here. The first thing that happens in the swing is we hike the bell. Basically, we wanna hike the bell, boom, right up into our groin area, all right? You have to not be shy with the hike because the hike needs to go up in there, all right? We don't wanna dangle it low. If we dangle it low, the bell is gonna be too far away from our hips, too far away from our center of gravity and our power source. So we'll lose a lot of power. And also, like if you're dangling the bell low, it's like you can go into your lower back, right? Like you don't want that. You wanna keep the bell close to your hips. So with me, hinge back, arms are in front of you, anti-shrug the shoulders. You're doing all of your nice hinge things, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, and you're going to hike it aggressively. Okay, the next thing with me, we're gonna do here is you're just going to stand up in your standing plank. Notice my arms are still connected to my body. I have not let my arms come off of my body yet. They're still connected. I want you to imagine that there's Velcro on the inside of your arm here and Velcro on your ribs. And that Velcro is still stuck. It is still connected. The next thing that happens is now you're gonna let that Velcro rip off. Now the Velcro is ripped off. You let the bell come up to about chest level. You get this nice moment of float here, this graceful float. And then the next thing is the arms start to come down and they reconnect to your body, but you're still in your standing plank. You have not sent your hips back yet. You're gonna wait until that Velcro reconnects to your body before you push back in your hinge and park it. Cool? That was the long talking version of the slow-mo swing. So now we're gonna do a few together. This is gonna help us with the timing of our swing. So let's do it together with me. Hinge back, imaginary bell is here. Hike, stand, arms are still connected. Arms float off up to chest level. Arms start to come back, they come back, the Velcro reconnects, push back in the hinge, and park it. Again, with me. Hike, aggressive. Stand, standing plank, arms float off, chest level, arms come back, reconnect to the body, push back in the hinge, and park. Cool, one more. When you push back in that hinge, you'll notice that my hands are pretty high up in my groin area. I'm not pushing back with my hands down here. So I want you to really think about that. Okay, one more slow-mo swing. Hinge back. Okay, my imaginary bell is here. Ready, hike, stand, float off. It comes back, it reconnects, the Velcro, push back, and park it. Nice, so that is the timing of the swing. Once we start swinging bells, that's gonna really help. And that is also safety built into performance. That is how we transfer the power from the hips, the hip hinge right into the bell, is by paying attention to that Velcro drill. Common issues we see with the swing before we get into it is people hinging back too early or pulling the bell out too early. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So don't do this. A lot of times we see this where people are letting the arms come out early, but they're still in their hinge. So don't do that. Remember your Velcro drill. Keep the arms connected. Same thing on the way down. As the bell is coming down, don't hinge back too early. This puts our lower back not really in a good position because we're holding the bell kind of with our lower back. So make sure as it's coming down, 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 you're waiting in that standing plank. Velcro reconnects, boom, then you push it back and you park it. Time to do some hikes. Yes. All right, so grab your bell. Now we're gonna do 5 hikes together. We're not gonna swing the bell up yet. We're just gonna hike it 5 times. Let me show you just 1 or 2 first so you know what we're doing. So you're gonna hinge back, grab the bell, tilt it towards you, and we're just gonna do this. Okay, so with me, you have your bell in front of you. Go ahead and get in your deadlift stance over the bell, and then just go like this. Step, step. Basically like 1 foot behind your bell. In your deadlift stance, that's a great swing stance. So in our setup, next we're going to hinge back, just like we did when we were learning the hinge and the deadlift. We're gonna reach for the bell, nice long neutral spine. We're gonna grab it and tilt it towards us. My weight is mostly in my heels. And in fact, if I were to let go of the bell, I'll do that now. If I were to let go of the bell, I would fall backwards. You see how I was like, if I let go of the bell, it kind of sends me backwards a little bit. So that is how we load for the swing and load our hamstrings and glutes. So set it up. Here, we'll do it together. From here, step, step. Hinge back, grab the bell, tilt it towards you. Break the bell. By pretending to break the bell, you should feel that lat here, that armpit muscle, kind of engage and turn on. With me, first one, we're just going to hike it back and park it. Ready? And go. Good. And go. Good. Okay, come on up and shake it out. What we're looking for in the hike is we want to maintain the integrity of our hinge. We don't want to let that bell change the shape of our hinge. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Common issue we see with the hike, don't do this, we don't want this, is people kind of falling forward. They're letting the bell pull them towards the ground and pull their chest towards the ground. That means we're losing our hinge position. We're not maintaining the integrity of that nice hip hinge. So I want you to keep everything in that same hinge shape. And the only thing that's moving is, boom, the arms. They're just hiking it aggressively back. Let's do it again. So set up in your swing stance. Hinge back. Grab the bell. Tilt it towards you. Break the bell. Weight is mostly back. And go. Go. Nice. Inhale through your nose on the hike. Go. 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 Nice. Come on up and shake it out. Nice work. That was our hike. That's the first step in our swing. We're maintaining the integrity of our hinge. We're hiking the bell back and up. We're keeping it close to our hips area so that then in the next step, which is when we stand up in our standing plank and we basically send the hips forward pretty aggressively, you're going to have the bell close to your hips and it's going to launch the bell kind of up to chest level. All right, let's do some swings. Always exciting. Okay, so you learned the deadlift. We learned the hike. We learned so many things. Now we're gonna do dead stop swings. So let me show you what that looks like. It basically just means that we're parking the bell in between each swing. So I'll do 3 dead stop swings for you. Good. Okay, I actually got a little excited and I sent the bell a little bit too high on those. So just so you know, I went up to face level. Really, I should be going to chest level, but I just was so amped up that the bell went a little higher. So those are dead stop swings. You'll notice that I stayed in my ready position in between each swing. We're just gonna do a few sets of 3 together. I want you to think about all the things, right? Think about that nice hinge position that we worked on, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, long neutral spine, eyes on the horizon. Weight is more in the heels, right? Not so that you're gonna fall backwards, but you don't want to have your weight forward in your toes. And then when you hit that standing plank position, you're just hitting that standing plank. You're going straight from the hinge right into the standing plank. Glutes, quads, abs are all on. Letting that bell float, pushing it back and parking it. Okay, let's do it together. So get in your swing stance. You're about a foot behind your bell. Hinge back. Grab your bell handle, grip it, break it, right? Pretend to break it. Ready, I'm gonna say go and you're gonna hike it. You're gonna do 1 swing and then you're gonna park it. Ready, go. Park it. All right, let's do 2 more. Go. Park it. Nice, up to chest level. Go. And park it. Nice, shake it out. Great job. Okay, we'll do a few more sets of that because these are our first swings that we're doing today. So there are a lot of moving parts. We've already gone through everything from our feet, knees, hips, abs, shoulders, head, breath, arms. Actually, let's talk about arms. We didn't talk about that yet. So in the swing, we basically want to keep long, straight arms. We don't want to kind of get into the habit of T-Rex swings. And that's because in the swing, it's all about power production, and it's about power production going that way, going forward. Our power is going forward. When we want to direct our power up, we do what's called a snatch, and that's an overhead movement here. But we're not snatching today, we're doing swings. So I want you to think about long, straight arms. Boom, power is going forward. Let's do a couple more sets. We'll do fast and loose in between, and then we're actually gonna move on to the 1-arm swing, which is even more like things to work on and even more skills that you need to learn. So it's really fun. Dead stop, 2-hand swings. We'll do 3 more. Hinge back. With me, do it with me. Grab your bell, tilt it towards you. Hams and glutes are loaded, right? Break the bell, anti-shrug the shoulders, and go. Good. Go. Find that standing plank at the top of your swing. Go. And park it, shake it out. Nice work. Okay, that was, oh no, we're not done with two-hand swing. We have to do continuous swings. I almost forgot. Sorry about that. So we did our dead stop swings. Now we're gonna string them together, which is probably what you've seen and what you were expecting to do with the swing. Almost forgot a key part there. So we're gonna put it together. Let me show you what that looks like, and then we're gonna do some sets and work on the skills. So this is what continuous, regular kettlebell swings look like. So hopefully there weren't any surprises there. You're familiar with all those parts of the movement. The main thing is that now we're not parking the bell in between reps, we're stringing them together. And so we have to get good at kind of this backswing position and then boom, hitting that standing plank again. We're gonna do sets of 5 swings together. We're gonna do four sets of 5. We're gonna focus on something different each time. All right, so in our first set of 5 swings, I want you to focus on your power breathing. And the timing of the breath is as the hips drive forward, that is when we're making that power breath. That exhale, it's an aggressive TSSS, kind of behind your teeth, with your tongue behind your teeth. Let's just work on that. Power breathing, exhale, on the effort as the hips come forward, and you're gonna inhale through the nose on the negative, right, or on the backswing. All right, so with me, set up with your bell, right? Hinge back. Grab your bell, tilt it towards you. When I say go, 5 swings, work on that power breathing, and go. And park it, shake it out. Nice work. Okay, in our second set of two-hand swings, we're gonna think about the Velcro drill that we talked about, right? That timing where I'm in my standing plank and I'm waiting until my arms reconnect to my rib cage here, to my body. And then at that last moment, as the arms are connecting, that is when I'm pushing the hips back. Cool? So working on Velcro drill, keeping those arms nice and long and straight. 5 swings. Ready, get in your stance. Hinge back, grab the bell, tilt it towards you. Break the bell. Ready, Velcro drill, 5 swings. Go. Nice work, shake it out. Fast and loose. On our third set of continuous swings, we're gonna think about our hinge, right? Let's not forget about our hinge, the shape of our hinge. So working on that nice long neutral spine, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, and looking at the horizon, all those things that we worked on in the very beginning. So 5 swings, set up to your bell, hinge back, grab the bell, tilt it towards you. This is your beautiful hinge position, and 5 swings. Go. And shake it out. Awesome work. All right, last set of 5 swings. Focusing here on our standing plank, right? Creating that tension that we learned how to create. That is what creates not only power in our training, in our skilled kettlebell training, but also safety, creating connection so that our body kind of becomes this immovable plank, which keeps our spine and our other joints safe. So 5 more swings, focusing on hitting that standing plank at the top. Crush the walnut, pull the kneecaps up, root through the feet, brace the abs, tall through the head, make lemonade with the armpits, anti-shrug the shoulders. All right, ready? Hinge back, Grab your bell, tilt it towards you. 5 swings, work on that standing plank at the top. Go. And park it. Shake it out. Nice work, nice work. Beautiful. So the only thing we didn't get to today is the one-arm swing, but just so you know, the one-arm swing looks almost exactly the same as the two-arm swing. It's just that one arm is holding the bell. But we apply all the same principles to the one-arm swing that we learned today in the two-arm swing. So don't worry, you didn't miss too much. We'll have to do another class or call another time so we can cover that. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say thank you so much and go Big Green.